The hockey season is upon us at Gary R. Harker Rink at the Burnsville Ice Center in Burnsville, Minnesota. This simulcast production, appearing both on BCTV and CTN, welcomes you. It's Burnsville and Champlain Park Coon Rapids in girls hockey, a battle of two 1-0 teams as the hockey season gets started. Sam Ekstrom alongside John Mara, the usual tandem, back at it for another year here. John, Burnsville, a new era upon us tonight. Chris Lepper, the first-year coach, inheriting a very talented team, and they showed talent in their first game of the year, a 7-2 win over North St. Paul Tartan.
Yeah, a lot of excitement and optimism about the team this year. They return a lot of good young players, and with a new coach and energy, they're expecting to go far this year.
We'll talk more about Lepper as the broadcast goes on. On the other side, it's Champlain Park Coon Rapids, the Rebels from Section 5AA. They're coming off an impressive performance as well. An 8-0 victory against Totino Grace. And this is a team that you said before the broadcast resembles Burnsville in a few different ways.
It's eerily similar in a number of different ways. They're both young teams last year, returning a lot of good players. They had a similar record. They had a high seed in the playoffs and lost an overtime game, and their senior goalies graduated. So they played two real tight games the last 2 years. This should be a great matchup.
And Burnsville losing their senior goaltender. They have an interesting goaltending situation tonight. Their starter, Maria Whedon, is out with an illness. Freshman Olivia Tilbury stepping up. That'll be a big storyline.
Especially since she's not necessarily been playing goalie. She's been playing forward on the JV squad. Has a little background as a goalie, and they're hoping she'll be up to the task.
On the other side, Elia Johnson, the senior goaltender for the Rebels of Champlain Park Coon Rapids. Let's listen in to our starting lineups and national anthem.
At the Burnsville Ice Center. Tonight we have girls varsity hockey featuring the visiting Champlain Park Coon Rapids Rebels versus the home team, your Burnsville Blaze. Tonight's game will be played under the rules of the Minnesota State High School League, and we thank you in advance for your sportsmanship in support of the players, coaches, and on-ice officials. Our certified athletic trainer extraordinaire for tonight's game is Doug Nelson. He is provided to us by a combination of Fairview, North Memorial, and the Institute for Athletic Medicine. Now how about some starting lineups? First for the visiting Rebels. At defense, senior, number 20, Sarah McClellan. Her defensive partner, number 21, junior, Abby Peterson. Starting at center for the Rebels, junior, number 29, Delaney Johnson. Her wings, number 9, sophomore, Abby Ness. And senior, number 27, Anna Bazelko. And the rest of the Rebels. The Rebels are coached by head coach Jim Coltis and his assistants Dan Shuck and Brandy Del Castello. Now the starting lineup for your Burnsville Blaze. At defense, senior, number 2, Avery Sasha. Her defensive partner, sophomore, number 3, Caitlin Proctor. Starting at center tonight for the Blaze, senior, number 8, Aubrey Nelvin. Her wings, junior, number 5, Hannah Benford. And sophomore, number 17, Katie Katz-Merrick. Starting in goal for the Blaze, freshman, number 1, Olivia Tilbury. We also have a couple guest captains representing the Blaze, the U8 Blaze girls, Layla Clausen and Ruby Tassa. The Blaze are coached by Chris Lepper and his assistants Aaron Goodell, Carissa Thompson, and Randy Johnson. Now, if everyone would please rise, remove your caps, and direct your attention to the American flag at the end of the arena for the playing of our national anthem.
Champlain Park, Coon Rapids, and Burnsville going toe-to-toe tonight, a pair of 1-0 teams. Let's talk for a moment about what Burnsville lost from last season, John. Some very key seniors graduated: Lindsay Howard, Jenna Hartung, Maddie Bemper, of course their goaltender, you mentioned her, Riley Pester. Not many seniors, but some quality seniors gone from this team.
Yeah, not just the quality of the playing, but the leadership capabilities as well. They do have a strong set of underclassmen ready to step up. Goalie is particularly the position we're going to have to see where they can put something together while Maria is under the weather.
Yeah, she might be out for a couple weeks. 23 combined goals. They graduated to go with 38 combined assists. If we have it, let's take a look at last year's summary, remind you where this team came from a year ago. They won 18 games. Burnsville was fourth in the South Suburban Conference. They started the season 4-0. They were 11-7 in SSC play, but a disappointing exit in the playoffs, an overtime loss against Park of Cottage Grove. John, they lost all 8 of their games by 1 goal.
Yeah, they were in every game, and you thought they could go a long way, but sometimes you run into a hot goalie and you just don't find a getaway by them, and that was a disappointing end to a promising season. But again, they bring back a lot of firepower this year and some really solid defensive core, so there is a lot of optimism.
Top forward line for the Blaze tonight, it is Aubrey Nelvin centering Hannah Benfer and Katie Katzmarek. For CPCR, it's Delaney Johnson in the middle of Abby Ness and Anna Bezcalo. We're off and running in the home opener, the Blaze and the Rebels, who take the name of their flagship school, Champlain Park, co-opt with Coon Rapids, and an early cover for Elia Johnson, who last year played in a backup role and was very good, a .96 goals against average.
I think she had a couple of shutouts in 3 games. May not have been pitched against the best competition, but you can't argue with those numbers.
They lost Bailey Shuck, their senior goaltender, her dad an assistant on their staff. And the Rebels trying to bring it through neutral ice. Burnsville's top line still out there. It's touted in by Abby Ness on the left wing, shooting one off the stick of starting defenseman Avery Sawchuk. And there's a takeaway and a chance on Tilbury, tipped in front, might have been redirected by the spot start goaltender for the Blaze, freshman Olivia Tilbury, wearing the number 1 tonight.
Key test for the Blaze defense to limit the rebounds and keep the pressure off her, especially early in the game.
Top defensive pairing for Burnsville is Avery Sawchuk and sophomore Caitlin Procco, who will be leaned upon heavily this season. There's Sawchuk wearing the C on her jersey. Watches that one go into neutral, knocked down by Ness, the sophomore. And Sawchuk will control in her own end. Out to Maddie Masnick. Masnick trying to unload it on that left wing, stolen away. Kylie Scott, right winger, brings it to the middle. Nice dangle. And it goes behind Jaden Herr, who is crashing in. Herr has it behind the net. Gabby Gromacki contesting her. Gromacki, number 22 for the Blaze. There's a centering pass off the skates of Maddie Masnick. Pursued by the Blaze in their own corner. Just about 2 minutes gone in this opening period. 0-0. Dribbling in front, Tilbury watches it go by. Caitlin Procco trying to clear it out and does, hopping over the stick of Kylie Scott.
Good clear for the Blaze, get a fresh set of troops out there, and they can roll 3 lines with firepower.
Chris Lepper really likes their depth in all 3 lines. He's got the talented Kendra Disted on that 3rd line. He likes the firepower that she can provide, and she is one of the younger but more talented Blaze, only an 8th grader. And right now, Burnsville's got their 2nd line out. Here's Allie Erlob trying to make a move to the net alongside Sammy Bowlby. Bowlby, who had a hat trick in the season opener, loses it in front. Now Bowlby goes down to a knee. Bowlby, backhand through the crease past Johnson, and it sweeps over to Zoe Chadwick, and a whistle.
I think we got the net off the moorings.
Yes.
So good pressure by the Blaze. Sammy Bowlby was on fire their last game against Tartan and was dangerous every time she was out on the ice. She did finally get a few hats thrown on late in the game. I think there were, at my count, there were 3 of them.
Deservedly so.
It's not nothing.
Bowlby, as a freshman last year, had 8 goals, 6 assists, and she notched 3 of them against North St. Paul Tartan. Burnsville had a hard time scoring first in that game, but once they finally did break through at the very end of the first period, that opened the floodgates, and they scored 4 in the second period.
Yeah, they were heavily outshot in the first period. It didn't seem that way in watching it, and then they scored as the clock ran out on a delayed penalty, and then the floodgates were open in the second period.
Burnsville had 2 power play goals in that 7-2 win. Even strength right now. Just over 3 minutes gone in this first period. Swept along from corner to corner. Out here to Bowlby, and she'll race across the red line. Bowlby, nice move into the offensive zone, fires off the mask of Johnson and into the corner where it's steered back to the point. Avery Sawchuk looks toward the net, and it's gloved by Johnson, who moved to her left, made a nice save. 13:24 to go in the first period.
Speaking of veteran leadership, Avery Sawchuk's been a starter since the 7th grade. Now in her senior season, also a star on the golf team, and is getting looks from Augsburg for both sports.
Her brother Nolan, part of the last boys state qualifier for Burnsville. Burnsville switched coaches last year, so both the programs here in Burnsville under new leadership of late. And there's a hopping shot in off of Johnson, swept down the ice for an icing by the Rebels. The whistle blows. Another face-off in the Rebels' end.
And as where are they now? Nolan Sawchuk's playing for UMass Lowell, getting regular minutes for the number 12th ranked team in the country.
Our next break, we can take a look at some of the girls alumni that are in the college and professional ranks. Rebels control in their own corner. There's a takeaway, though, behind the net. Hannah Bemfer, the first liner. Moved up to Olivia Carlson, left point. Chipped down by Katie Kaczmarek. They give and go. Kaczmarek redirects on Johnson, who freezes it. Let's take a look at some of those Burnsville alumni with an update on some names you'll certainly recognize, including previous defensemen, a goalie, and a forward. And there's what they're doing at their respective levels, courtesy of Burnsville Analytica.
Yeah, and Lauren Bench was the WCHA Goalie of the Week a couple weeks ago after beating UMD twice in a row. Coach Lepper said they were going to take a bus down and watch Bemidji State take on the Gophers this weekend.
That'll be a great time. Of course, the former Burnsville coach, Tracy Casano, she was a Gopher, and she's watching tonight, we understand. Now Burnsville trying to break through. They score! It was Disted who moved in from the left. It might have been tipped in front, and Burnsville's got the lead.
Boy, you can see the raw speed and power from Kendra Disted as she broke around the edge there, drove the net hard and put the rebound home.
Might have been Masnick. She was the first one in line who shook hands on the bench, and Disted would get the assist. The junior makes it 1-0.
And they're going to save that puck.
Disted had 3 goals a year ago, 7 assists. Maddie Masnick, though, if indeed it was her, it'd be her first goal. And there it is, punching it in on the rebound.
Right place at the right time.
And how big is that for Olivia Tilbury now to play with a lead in net? Of course, Burnsville trying to protect a somewhat raw goaltender, and an early lead will help. Now the Blaze have had recent success keeping the puck out against these Rebels. They've shut them out each of the last 2 years with 1-0 and 2-0 wins.
Yeah, and the Rebels haven't traditionally been a high-scoring team. Their mantra is to play good defense. Oh, and there's a good shot and a nice save out of the gate there by Tilbury.
Might have grazed the left post. 11:20 to go in the first period. 1-0 Burnsville on the Masnick goal from Disted. Down goes Scott. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, if the Blaze have to score a lot of goals to win games early, they're certainly equipped to do it.
Delaney Johnson centering. There's a hopping shot from Scott. Goes into the corner. After it is Gromacki trying to pry it out. Getting there is Erlob, and Erlob will angle down the ice and across the blue line. Looks like a delayed penalty. Here's Erlob centering. Could not click with the crashing Bowlby. Now it's Erlob still sustaining the pressure. Still a delayed call coming. Here's Carlson. Left point and no touch. Gathered in by Chadwick to the corner. After it is Headland. With 10:33 to go in the first, Burnsville to the power play.
Solid play by Allie Erlob, maintaining possession in traffic, and was able to draw the penalty.
Delaney Johnson, first line center, the junior, to the box.
And she's probably one of their key penalty killers too, I would bet.
She is on one of their top pairings on the kill. So the Blaze will get to showcase the power play that scored twice against North St. Paul Tartan. Try to take a 2-goal lead. Last season, Burnsville did not allow a shorthanded goal. Burnsville was very good on the penalty or the power play as well. 20 power play goals a year ago. That one narrowly kept in and fired off the right boards and chipped down by Katzmarek. They get it back now to Gromacki. There's a pass from the dot by Katzmarek to the corner for Aubrey Nelvin, who had 2 goals in the opener. Nelvin, half wall, slapper rising off the glass. Now Katzmarek will circle right point and back it down to Kendra Disted, the talented 8th grader. Back to Gromacki, who saucers one wide to the left. It's brought in by Sarah McClellan, one of their top defensemen, and down the ice.
Good pressure by the Blaze. Were able to move the puck around, looking for a good shot.
They're changing up their power play structure just a little bit this year. They're really trying to capitalize on their speed and spread the ice out, according to Chris Lepper. Fired down the ice with 45 seconds to go on the power play. The Blaze will reset. Disted controls, swats it along. Brooke Del Castillo is going to get there and pinch in, trying to kill some more time, but Disted emerges and goes by Scott, who tripped. A 3-on-1. There's a drop pass, and a shot by Erlob was blocked. Nice job by Abby Peterson. Now to the left half wall, 20 seconds to go on the power play. Brought in by Erlob toward the middle. Erlob kept it on her stick. There's a one-timer from Bowlby off the side of the cage. With 12 seconds to go in the power play. 1-0 Burnsville. Midway through the period, low shot. Rebound, again saved by Johnson. And it kicks off into the left corner for Erlob. Sawchuk with 2, with 1. The power play's over. Erlob shoots, and it caroms off to the near side. And now a breakout pass for Delaney Johnson, double-digit goal scorer last year. Johnson veering in, trying to wrap it around. And Sawchuk, the one who took the brunt of that, she got run right into the post.
Yeah, she closed off the angle, did an excellent job there, and had to pay the price by hitting the net there. but solid veteran play there. Johnson dangerous out of the penalty box.
Yeah, this Rebels team scored 8 in their opener. Burnsville had a hat trick, and so did the Rebels. They got one from Molly Terabeza. Number 24 for CPCR. There's a backhand by Johnson. Wide to the left. And the captain, Aubrey Nelvin, into neutral ice. Separated from the puck. Grabbed by Abby Ness to Johnson. Ness! And a shot is redirected. Good job by the Blaze here in this first period and by the goaltender Tilbury. Moved ahead there to Kaczmarek, looking for Benfer. Benfer veers it over toward Nelvin along the near half wall. Stripped of the puck, Kennedy Bolander the other way. Bolander, out of the backup defensive pairing. There's a shot from the slot by Johnson. And a save by Tilbury with the glove.
Boy, Tilbury looks pretty calm back there. I think the thing they got to look for there is controlling the rebounds, but she's putting herself in good position and making the play.
There's Chris Lepper on the bench. Lepper has been around the block. He has coached at River Falls, Sartell, and most recently Woodbury, where he spent 6 seasons. And he is a hockey nut. Grew up in International Falls, hockey country, up in northern Minnesota.
Doesn't get more northern than that. Oh, and there's the danger of being on the bench there. One of their coaches just got hit in the hand.
Got clipped. 7:20 to go in this first period. Burnsville scoring from Masnick. 4 minutes and 49 seconds in.
And Chris Lepper, I think his challenge here is he's probably trying to put in a few new systems, and the kids need a little bit of ice time to get there. But boy, he's really optimistic about this team.
And very energetic. He loves the potential that he sees. There's a giveaway behind the net. Puck loose. And a good job by Caitlin Procco to dump Kyler Shack, who was right in front of the net. 10 minutes gone in this first period. Board battle right in front of the Burnsville bench. Lepper right there shouting out instructions. And there, Tilbury playing the puck back to Sawchuk. Emily Howard, younger sister of Lindsay Howard, playing collegiately. There's a one-timer on the turnover. Molly Terabeza, first time we've called her name. A great goal scorer and a good save by Tilbury.
Yeah, Tilbury's in good position. They're going to have to pick a corner on her. She's scooping everything up in the middle.
And you saw there on that great camera shot, the name of Maria Whedon on the back of that goalie helmet. This is her equipment.
Yeah, I don't think people know how different it is to play goalie versus playing forward.
And offsides here.
You put one of your best forwards who's never played goalie, stick them in nets, and they look like a fish out of water, and vice versa. So it's quite a task to go from playing forward to playing goalie.
And I just think about, playing baseball back in the day. I was an infielder, and once in a while they ask you to put on the catcher's mask in Little League, and it's a whole different ball game. Different angle. You're seeing the ice from different vantage points, and your vision is a little bit impaired as well.
Yeah, the big challenge for goalies is being able to get up and down. What you see with goalies who haven't played a lot or younger goalies is once they're down, they don't have the strength to get up. But I think we've seen Olivia look pretty natural in the cage there.
And knowing when to play the puck behind the net. And she might be tested here. It's a 2-on-1. Cross-ice attempt there by Terabeza in front. Jaden Herr, the one-time attempt. She might have been impaired there with a slash, and that's why she couldn't get the shot away. A penalty. Might have been a good one, though, taken by Burnsville, their first of the game.
Going for a slash, didn't quite see. Sometimes that stick check, they try to call that. But, it's better than a free open shot and a tip right in front. Like you said, there are good penalties.
Olivia Carlson to the box. An opportunity here for Champlain Park Coon Rapids, an immediate clear. They were 2 of 3 on the power play in their opener against Totino Grace. Great work here by Kaczmarek as the clock winds.
Yeah, it's a good. You want to be 200 feet behind the net.
Got the crowd buzzing with her effort. Kaczmarek still is pressuring behind the goal line extended. She kills off essentially a quarter of the power play and then got it deflected off her skate. Now Benfer is the one forechecking. It's Benfer taken down, trying to freeze the puck. What a job by the penalty killers. 45 seconds gone. I think the crowd was more excited about that than they were the goal. That was impressive. There's a shot from the slot by Scott. And now down low for Sawchuk. Sawchuk trying to fling it around the side glass. That's kicked forward by Johnson. Delaney Johnson, shallow angle. And Tilbury going down to knock it away. And here comes Bowlby shorthanded. Bowlby, one-on-one. Tried to dangle through. Bowlby goes and gets it herself. Twisting behind the net, picked up by Kylie Scott. Scott outlets. Kennedy Bolander. Now chipped on the half wall far side. 25 seconds to go on the power play. Looped around and kept in by Terabeza. Down low, Anna Bezcalo. Terabeza goes up top. Sarah McClellan on the half wall. Terabeza behind the net. 10 seconds to go on the penalty kill. It's centered out front. Tilbury trying to fall on it. Puck still loose, and it ricochets off into the corner. One last chance in the final second of the penalty kill. Burnsville's got a block. And Aubrey Nelvin will sweep it down the ice. It's an icing, and they get to catch their breath. Good job by the penalty kill.
Boy, couldn't ask for much better. Played 2/3 of the penalty down in the other zone and keep the real dangerous shots off of Tilbury there.
And what did Lepper tell us before the game? He has got to see a lot of blocks in this one. A huge key for this game. Both teams now 0 for 1 on the power play. 3:38 to go in the first period. Whistling shot wide to the left. Getting there is McClellan. McClellan gave it up, and Procco gives it back to McClellan. There's a shot into a Burnsville screen, and it was knocked down by Sawchuk. Looping around is Erla behind her own net. Back for Procco. Around the rim of the boards for Benfer. Benfer had it poked away by Ness, and Benfer sticking with it at center ice. Good flip pass over to Erla, but she's all alone right wing. Will shoot anyway. Gathered in. Rebound permitted. Erla again. Tries to go top shelf. Missed wide. Under 3 minutes to go in the first period. 1-0 Blaze. Goal scorer Maddie Masnick looks to go corner to corner in the offensive zone. Erlob pinching in, and Erlob along the half wall. Back for Gabby Gromacki. She'll fire it off the end boards. Moving to it is Elena Hedlund. Hedlund had it stolen. And the Rebels trying to clear their own end. 2.5 minutes to go in the period. Excellent work by Emily Howard. Went up top, and it's split through the defenseman. Gromacki will have to touch up and retreat back into her own end. Abby Ness applying the pressure. 4 golden jerseys surround the puck. Popped out towards center ice. Hauled in by Abby Peterson. Peterson dumps and chases. There is Carlson for the Blaze, who just got out of the box. There's a backhand in front. They scored to tie the game. It's Kylie Scott, I believe, who scored it. 1-1.
Nice little flip pass out from behind the net, and that backhand's kind of hard to pick up.
Abby Ness, actually the goal scorer. Her third of the year. Abby Ness, who had 2 in the opener, with 1:59 to go in the period. And a good job with Gromacki draped all over her.
Good strong play to get to the puck.
So it's a new hockey game, 1-1 at the 15:01 mark of the first period. Off the end boards, now Benfer with it for the Blaze. Benfer looping, shooting, hit the crossbar, and a whistle as the net got dislodged.
Did the shot knock that net off? That's a powerful shot, yeah.
That's a heavy shot.
Heavy shot.
Wow.
Yeah, back to that goal scored by the Rebels there. I guess if there's one positive to take out of it, it was it wasn't a rookie goalie giving up a goal. That was just a good shot from a nice position.
Abby Ness, as a freshman, had 3 goals last year and already has 3 early in this season as a sophomore. They've got 15 sophomores between their JV and varsity teams, 7 juniors, 7 seniors, 5 freshmen added to the mix as well. Benfer over to Nelvin. Nelvin centers. Sawchuk shoots into the glove of Johnson. Fine save.
Sawchuk tapping the ice there to let her teammate know she's open. Gets a nice pass right to the tape. Puts a good shot on net.
Rebels last year, 14-8-4 record. They won Northwest Suburban West. An immediate penalty called off the draw. A slash. And it is going to be on Burnsville. Their second penalty of the period. Zoe Chadwick.
Chadwick, a senior, one of the longtime contributors on this team. Certainly a presence when she's out on the ice, plays with a lot of energy, maybe a little bit too much there.
So this power play could get split between 2 periods. They've got 71 seconds here in the first period of kill. They are 1 for 1 on the kill in this opening stanza. 1-1 the score. Masnick and Ness, the goal scorers, and there's a puck that had eyes. Backhand, they score. 2-1, and this one on the power play. And it's Ness once more on the doorstep.
And again with a backhand, this time the second rebound. And we'll get another look at it. You can see she stops that first one.
And they almost got it out. Sacha, or rather Gromacki, I think if she gets her stick on the other side of that puck, maybe she can veer it out of the crease. They score twice in 1 minute and 3 seconds. And CPCR has the first period lead with a late flourish. Now behind the net again, another backhand. Down goes Tilbury, and the puck skitters through the crease. Kept in at the point by Abby Peterson. Goes down low for Bezcalo. Anna Bezcalo, the senior, trapped there against the end boards. 25 seconds to go in the frame. Blaze trying to break out of their own end for one last rush. Instead, it's stolen away. There's Bezcalo dumping it into the left corner. Benfer watches it go by. There's Scott shooting into the skate of her fellow number 8, Nelvin. 7 seconds to go in the period. Rebels humming here to end the first. A shot off the end glass. 2 seconds left, and the buzzer will sound. But the Rebels score twice in the final 2 minutes, and they take a 2-1 lead on the Blaze.
Yeah, largely it looked like the Blaze were carrying play and had momentum going their side. A couple of flurries in front of the net and some nice backhand shots by Ness, and flipped the score over.
And the go-ahead goal on the power play. It's Masnick for the Blaze. Ness with her 3rd and 4th goals of the year for the Rebels. We'll pause here during the first intermission. You're watching Burnsville and Champlain Park Coon Rapids hockey on BCTV and CTN. Welcome back to Burnsville. Sam Ekstrom and John Mara with you on BCTV and CTN. Did you know you can watch BCTV anywhere on the globe using your Roku device? Just download the PEG.TV app on Roku and select BCTV to watch us live or on demand. You can also stream BCTV online at burnsville.tv/live. BCTV, available on TV, online, or on Roku. Burnsville outshoots the Rebels 8-7 in the first period. John Mara brought the Rebels those 2 key goals late, capitalized. It was some nice plays from Abby Ness.
Burnsville seemed to carry the play quite a bit earlier. I think the shot discrepancy was made up by those late power plays and the flurry by Champlin. It would have been interesting to be a fly on the wall listening to what Lepper had to say to his charges there about how they're going to try to protect Olivia Tilbury.
I asked him before the game, I said, do you change defensive tactics at all because of the goalie switch? And he said, not really. We want to keep running this system so that when Maria Whedon comes back, we're better than we were before she left. So the plays are not going to change up all too much. On the other side, it's Jim Coltis, the third-year coach. His team leading 2-1. It's the third year of the Champlin Park Coon Rapids Co-op. They've won 13 games and 14 games in their first 2 seasons together, winning the Northwest Suburban West both years.
Been a solid team, playing good defense. Maybe not scoring to the level that they'd like to in the past, but they put up 2 this year where they haven't cracked Burnsville in the last couple of years.
They scored 2.6 goals per game last year. Burnsville last year allowed just 1.3 goals per game. 2 given up in the last 2 minutes of that first period. The second one on the power play.
And of course, last year, Riley Pester had an almost historic year with her numbers.
Wrap around, Burnsville trying to tie the game, and it's kept out by Johnson. Boy, Johnson was really good in that first period. After she allowed the goal, she really tightened the screws. Dumped in, left corner boards, banking toward Johnson, and she falls on it just 37 seconds into the period.
That earlier chance by the Blaze, Katie Kaczmarek, has been on fire out of the gates here, and really kind of her energy resulted in a couple of good scoring opportunities.
Brooke Del Castillo on the draw for the Rebels. It goes back to neutral for Gromacki. Ahead to Masnick. Masnick to the right corner. Distad out in front. There's Howard. Rang the pipe. Oh, they score! Delayed call. The game's tied. Top shelf, 2-2.
Boy, talk about sniping. There wasn't a whole lot of room there. Love to see the replay on this one. But that's a big, big momentum changer for the Blaze.
Howard from an impossible angle, and it was almost too quick to see there. I don't know if we can slow it down, but the official had a great view of it. Down the goal line extended.
Yeah, no hesitation whatsoever on his call.
So it's 2-2. Emily Howard had an assist in the opener. Now she's got a goal to her name. There's the announcement.
Oh, here's a race for the puck if they can get it before icing. They wave it off.
Bowlby circling behind the net. Looks down low. Here's Erlob. Erlob and Bowlby have been humming a bit on that second line. Bowlby twists it back to Erlob, has Procco up top. Procco fires wide to the right. After it is Zoe Chadwick, who took that critical penalty in the first period that led to a goal. But now that's been balanced out by the tally from Howard. Emily Howard, a junior on this team, had 4 goals last year.
And of course, her sister Lindsay's now a University of Minnesota Mankato. And saw her at the first game, actually, coming out to support her sister.
And there it is again, Howard. She's played in 12 games for the Mavericks. Here is Delaney Johnson in their own zone. Angled ahead to Anna Bezcalo. Dumped into the right corner. Johnson chasing after it, trying to take a direct route behind the cage. Burnsville will intercept. Moved ahead to Kaczmarek. Just past the blue line, played by Abby Peterson and dumped in. The Blaze will regroup. Avery Sawchuk at the point of attack. Gives it away to Peterson. Peterson had it stripped by Benfer. Benfer's older sister graduating from last year's team. There's Melvin chopping it along, and bringing it back is Peterson to Johnson. Delaney Johnson dragged down on the trip. And a penalty against the Blaze, their third of the contest.
Yeah, that might be Aubrey Nelvin. Made a play for the puck. Looked like she got the puck, but players going down results in a tripping call.
2.5 minutes into the middle frame, and here it is once more.
Yeah, you know, you get the puck. You could make the case to say that's not a penalty, but you'd lose.
Refs don't have the benefit of replay. We do. So the third minor penalty on Burnsville. They're 1 of 2 on the kill. They win the draw. There's Romacki taken away from her. Now Ness looking for a hat trick on the back door. Tara Beza with it in the corner. Tara Beza forehand fires. Tilbury rebound. There's the hat trick. Ness on the rebound.
Another backhand too. And again, Tilbury makes the initial stop, unable to corral the rebound. Defense isn't able to move it, and you get a backhand.
No hats for her, but it's 3-2. And a couple of them on the rebound. Tilbury made a nice first save. It was Gromacki who got beaked to the middle and punched in by Ness.
Not a backhand on the replay. Still, some kids have a nose for the net, and you're seeing that tonight with Abby Ness.
All of her goals scored right in close, and sometimes, you know, shooting from close range can be just as tough as shooting from long range because you don't have as much room to, you know, get your stick free. You have to react quickly in those tight spaces, and she has been very reactionary. Abby Ness, only a sophomore. It's their second hat trick in as many games and the second multi-goal game in a row for Ness. What a start to her season in the non-conference. So it's back to 3-2 Rebels. This game has never been separated by more than 1 goal. That's 3 goals now in just about 6 minutes of game time, though, for the Rebels. Banked ahead. Here's Disted. Goes cross ice. Sawchuk to Zoe Dundon, who's getting in the mix now. She's alternating, part of that third line. Dundon a little late to get to practice because of cross country, her other sport. I'm sure she's well conditioned though, coming off of a cross country season.
Yeah, she did make the state tournament there. It's quite an accomplishment there.
Benfer off the end boards, sticked away by Johnson. Now Benfer to the corner, looped it back along the end boards. There's a takedown as Nelvin picks it up. Nelvin circling, shooting off the side of the cage. It's hauled in and fired on net by Dundon. Deflected off, and now Gromacki up top, saucering one wide to the left of the net. Kicks off into the corner. There's a good keep by Nelvin, who's out of the box following that power play goal. Gromacki banks it off the half wall, down into the corner where it's cleared to center ice. Just about 5 minutes gone here in the middle period. 3-2 Rebels trying to go to Benfer in front. One-timer saved by Elia Johnson.
Again, strong work. Nelvin gets it to Kaczmarek, who comes in and allows Benfer a prime opportunity right out front.
Benfer 2 goals a year ago. You get the feeling she's going to have more than that in 2019-20. Aubrey Nelvin swats it for Benfer in the corner. Picked up by Terabeza. Now Johnson stick handling to center. Took the stick of Kaczmarek with her and then got twisted up in it. Meanwhile, Burnsville a 2-on-2. Benfer onside at the line, dropped it for Kaczmarek, and her shot hit Benfer in the back. Kaczmarek bouncing at right point. Now Sawchuk. Sawchuk caught up in the skates. Sarah McClellan, the defenseman. Outletted to Bezcalo. Nelvin retreats to get it for the Blaze, trailing by 1. Nelvin pumps the brakes and goes corner to corner with Sawchuk. Up to Benfer once again. She'll fling it down the ice, and this should be an icing. It is, as the Blaze will get a breather and have a defensive zone faceoff with 11-12 to go in the second.
I guess with an untested goalie in, we might be in for a little bit of a shootout. Again, the Blaze have plenty of firepower.
There's a shot right off the draw, nudged by Tilbury into the corner now. Del Castillo stripped away and almost a 2-on-2 for the Blaze coming the other direction. Bowlby lost it. Nearly picked by Erlob, ahead past Chadwick. And in their own end, here come the Rebels. Kylie Scott, long pass into the Burnsville bench area. Let's take a look back at Burnsville's first game, see how they did it in that 7-2 win. They were actually outshot in that game, 26-19. Almost a 50% shooting percentage, not bad.
Yeah, and it seemed like Burnsville carried the play most of the game. The score indicates that, the shots didn't. So there were a lot of shots that probably just missed the net, good scoring opportunities, but they were solid. Back and forth that first period, and they scored at the very end, but the second period they were dominant and never looked back.
There's a centering opportunity. They punch at it. Tilbury gets piled on in the crease by 2 Rebels. They blow the whistle. She got blasted by Terabeza, and the Burnsville students love the physicality.
Yeah, a tough spot for a rookie goalie in there with, and you wonder if maybe it's a little bit of a strategy, try to put some pressure on the goalie.
Del Castillo and Terabeza, they might have gotten pushed in there too by Gormacki and Chadwick.
Blaze, the last thing they want to do is go shorthanded again.
They've given up 2 power play goals. That's 4 power play goals on the year, by the way, for the Rebels. Benfer has made a few bids here in the second period, and another one on net, saved by Johnson.
That's one of the things that's really kind of exciting to watch at the beginning of a new year, to see how much some of these kids improve from year to year. The Hannah Benfers and some of the kids that were younger, see how much they've improved over the summer, because that's when you get a lot of growth out of kids.
And I'm sure the Rebels fans watching on CTN, they're saying the same thing about Abby Ness, who went from freshman to sophomore. There's a shot on net, and a big save made on Kaczmarek. Puck flies in the air now to Benfer in the corner. Benfer's logging a lot of ice time here in this one with that line. Sawchuk over to Prako. Prako's pass deflected, and the Rebels will break out of the defensive zone with it. Bezcalo across the blue line onside. Bezcalo double team there, goes after her own dump in. Now switches places in the corner with Johnson. Loose puck in front. Burnsville gets there first. Redirects it back to the high slot. Now circling is Scott. It's blocked, and Burnsville clears with Kaczmarek. All the way down, and an icing.
And I think we're going to get a penalty, too, a cross-checking on Avery Sawchuk.
Another Burnsville penalty. That is their 4th consecutive penalty taken in this game.
Well, they're going to need to find some way to keep the pressure off of Tilbury and net here on this power play.
Well, you remember that first penalty kill? They wasted about a minute in their offensive zone just freezing the puck against the end boards. It was a strong effort, but the last 2, they have bent pretty quickly in the power play. Trying to get an early clearance here on this kill. 9 minutes to go in the second period. Still trailing by 1 and trying to keep it that way. And there's an unforced error as McClellan will have to backtrack and play it in neutral ice. Now Gromacki will sweep it down the ice. Burnsville 2-on-1, short-handed. Good play by McClellan, the senior. Makes a savvy defensive play to pick off that pass.
Bowlby was open and was looking to get a pass. Nice breakup.
Bowlby does turn it ahead to Howard, who scored early in this period to tie it momentarily at 2. There's Bowlby now pressing in on Terabeza. Gromacki got there first. Blaze again looking to clear. Here's Bowlby along the half wall. It's nudged back into the corner. Del Castillo sends it to the point. Down low from Peterson to Del Castillo, who sweeps it along to Terabeza. 50 seconds to go in the power play. Right dot, shot by Ness, wanting a 4th goal, and a save by Tilbury, and a Burnsville clearance.
Excellent job there by Howard to get the puck all the way down, allow to get new penalty killers out on the ice.
And the 2-line pass is off the stick of Bezcalo, and Burnsville will pump it again the length of the ice. Now Disted pressing in, 25 seconds to go on the kill. Disted centers! They score!
Nothing like a shorty to get you back in the game.
Kaczmarek, and it's 3-3.
And that's Disted making that play off the boards, getting to the puck before it could be picked up. And let's take a look at this.
Her second assist, and Kaczmarek's second goal. Oh, might be Disted's goal.
Yeah, that went off of Kylie Scott's stick.
We beg your pardon. See who they announce it as. They give it to Disted. They saw it clearly. 3-3, and the power play is over. Here comes Sawchuk rejoining the fray, and Sawchuk, had Burnsville been able to get control there, she would have been free and clear down the ice.
Still a dangerous time for the Blaze until they can get a change here.
Although
it might be dangerous for the Rebels.
2-on-1, Kaczmarek. Save Johnson. And we're even strength after the Disted goal. It's a new game.
And who's right at the net there looking for the rebound? Kendra Disted.
So a goal and an assist for Disted. That's her first goal of the year. And here's the 2-on-1 we just saw. Three goals in the first, 3 goals in the second. A high-scoring, fun hockey game. The second of the season for both clubs. Burnsville 2-0 in their last 2 home openers. And an icing past the halfway point of the second.
Yeah, you know, I saw this in the first game. The team really found their legs in the second period, and they seem dangerous. And now what I'm seeing out of Disted and Kaczmarek and Howard, Benfer, they're just sensing those opportunities and seem to have a little bounce in their step.
Blaze scored 4 second period goals in their opener. They've got 2 here in this one, and still 6.5 minutes to go in the middle frame. 3-3. There's a takeaway. 3 Rebels in front of the net. Good job by Tilbury to use the stick. Puck still loose. Blaze grappling for a clearance. Out to the left point. Pumped back in momentarily. And you got Burnsville playing aggressively, trying to get forwards down the ice for those outlet passes. Can't be too undisciplined with those, but they're trying to use their speed. Stretch the ice there with Chadwick. It was picked off en route to her. And here's an opportunity for the Rebels. Moving in was Bolander. Out in front, Bowlby will sweep it through neutral. And most of the way down for another icing.
Caitlin Procco with a long stick there to just barely get that puck out of harm's way. Yeah, the Blaze are looking for opportunities, but they need to make sure they take care of their goalie.
They might be without Maria Whedon for 4 or 5, maybe even 6 games. They really pack in the early season schedule, John. They've got 4 days off after this, but then they have every other day. They've got Shakopee on the 19th, Eastridge on the 21st, Lakeville South on the 23rd, and then Rosemount on the 26th. That's 4 games in 8 days, and 3 of those are conference games.
Yeah, and tough opponents too. Ooh, that was a tough shot. Tough opponents too, not an easy schedule.
Good save by Johnson through a screen. Saw it clearly on the attempt there from Olivia Carlson.
Clearly like the attitude of Chris Lepper, making lemonade out of the bad situation, saying they'll be stronger at the end if they pull together. That's a glass half full attitude if I ever heard one.
And that's the attitude a lot of coaches take. Everyone makes the playoffs, so you want to make sure that you're playing your best when you get to the playoffs. Next Dead Puck, we'll take a look at last year's standings and talk about some of the contenders maybe in the SSC this year. There's Gromacki behind the net. Goes around to Benford. Ahead to Nelvin at the red line. Nelvin will dump it in. They'll change. Tracked down by Sarah McClellan. A great defensive defenseman. Up ahead there, Sawchuk trying to get it away. Masnick, who had the opening Burnsville goal. And maybe a 3-on-1. They've got Masnick and Disted in front. It's Disted crashing and I think used a high stick indeed.
Yep, stoppage of play, but no penalty.
We'll take a look at the standings from last year and remind you where Burnsville finished in the SSC. It was a 4th place finish for the Blaze. In the South Suburban Conference, it's always a competitive conference with Egan winning the whole thing. But remember, late in the year, Burnsville actually took down Egan here at Burnsville Ice Center.
Yeah, epic game. Egan again will be strong this year. Powerhouse team. I don't believe they made it to the state tournament last year, though. I think they got beaten sections, maybe Eastridge.
I believe Eastridge in the final.
Yeah,
I believe knocked them off.
Had to be an upset, but Eastridge, dangerous team, knocked the Blaze out the year before.
And for as much as we've got a puck frozen there by Tilbury, for as solid as some of the recent Burnsville teams have been, they have not gotten out of the section quarters since the last time they got to state back in 2013.
It is not easy to get through that section. With every year there's a couple of teams that could qualify, and there can only be one. But Egan perennially tough. Lakeville North has been tough. Shakopee is a heck of a program now.
And Shakopee, Burnsville's next opponent on the road in a conference opener. Burnsville, another icing. This period has gotten a little bit disjointed here.
And Shakopee's got a nice new arena, beautiful facility. Great place to watch a game.
Well, if you treat football as sort of an indicator of a rising program, well, let's get this in first. A 2-on-1 again for the Blaze. Rebound, Orlov missed high. And Chadwick sweeps it around the boards, and maybe a breakout there for Tara Beza. Didn't reach her stick. There's Gromacki out to her left for Bowlby. Missed Bowlby, and Kylie Scott back the other way. There's Gromacki into the bench. Look out, they're sniping them.
The whole bench saw that one coming. It's almost like they did the reverse wave.
And the students love it, of course. But anyway, a note on Shakopee. I mean, their football program was unbelievable this year.
Yeah.
They almost knocked off Lakeville North in the playoffs, the defending champs.
So we got 2 Lakeville teams in the quarters still left playing.
And it might be Lakeville South this year who might be favored if they were to meet again.
What a story they are, losing their coach mid-season and then starting to play better.
Yeah, that's been an unbelievable team to watch as Johnson jets out from her crease to freeze it down to 3:18.
Good back and forth here. Teams kind of recovering from some lapses.
Offensive zone draw for the Blaze. Shot from the point, they score! And Burnsville's got the lead. Looked like another deflection. I think Kaczmarek did get that one.
Beautiful flip from out near the high slot by Caitlin Procco. Looks like she caught it midair. We'll take a look at it.
Kaczmarek, great position. And right down past Johnson.
Doing the dirty work up front to get the big goal to put the Blaze up.
So Kaczmarek is on the score sheet in this game. It's her second consecutive game with a goal. And once again, we head to the late stages of the period in Burnsville with a 1-goal lead. We'll listen to the announcement here for the assist. And Procco picks it up, the sophomore. The Blaze on top, 4-3. It's their first lead since 1-0. Off the side of the netting. Carlson wraps it around and out of the zone. There to get it is Abby Peterson. Peterson upended, and a breakout for Dundon. Dundon caught up to there on the left dot, goes down to a knee, and a penalty, I think.
At least an interference. They're going to call a cross-check. That was almost a dangerous play there. The way she went into the boards like that. She seems to be just fine.
The freshman Kylie Scott, the guilty party. And the Blaze a chance to add on. It's their first power play since the first half of the opening period. Yep, left forearm into the back, right on the letters. Good call with safety on the top of the priority list there. Blaze enter on sides with Bowlby. Stick handling, firing. Urlaub hit the post again. Burnsville's hit 3 pipes here in this game.
Beautiful play setup. Hit Allie Urlaub in a beautiful spot. She's ready for the pass. Put a good shot on it. Just let's watch it clink off the iron here.
And it goes the wrong way. If that goes bar down, it's 5-3. It goes bar up. Another shot from Urlaub left dot. That one veers off right corner. Chadwick tracked it down. Here's Sawchuk, keeps it in at the blue line, swats it off, one-timer right, and a missile in on Johnson.
Boy, I think we're going to have a lot of fun watching that for years to come. Sammy Bowlby in the slot there on the power play.
Yeah. These two offenses are just fun to watch, John. We've got two teams that in 5 periods of hockey have 11 goals each so far this season.
Yeah, and they kind of have a history of being defensive teams.
Sawchuk from distance, wide right. Bowlby presses in, minute 15 to go in the power play. Sawchuk watches it trickle by. All the way down, Sawchuk. Pursued there by Erica Tyson. And here's Sawchuk blasting out from behind her net. Now, this is Urlaub, check that. Urlaub slingshots around the cage. Gromacki, one-timer. Bowlby wanted it, and the pass not quite in her wheelhouse. Abby Peterson shorthanded. Peterson, great size on defense. Peterson pressed against the boards. 35 seconds to go in the power play. Benfer with a head of steam. There's Benfer right down the middle and lofts one up over the cage. Peterson trickled it toward Disted, who took it away. Disted with the pass cross ice. Goes off the body of Kyler Schack, the junior. And out to center with 15 seconds to go on the 5-on-4. There's Grobacki dumped in front. Back to center for Sawchuk. 25 seconds to go in the period. Gromacki touches up, and here comes Nelvin again at the blue line, left to right. Here's Nelvin around Peterson, around the net. Nelvin centers Sawchuk, and they got a rebound look there with Benfer. Power play's over. They're 0 for 2. 7 seconds to go in the period, and Burnsville going to be pretty happy with that second period. They've got a 4-3 lead.
Boy, you saw the full display. Aubrey Nelvin's talents there. She just circled the net and put a nice pass out front when it got deflected. Who was there back on defense to save the day? Aubrey Nelvin.
Burnsville scores 3 times in the second. Howard Ben Disted shorthanded, and Katzmarek, her second of the year, sandwiched in there. CPCR got a hat trick from Ness on the power play. Should be an entertaining third period. 17 minutes left in this one. 4-3 Blaze on BCTV and CTN. 2 periods in the books, 1 to go on BCTV and CTN. I'm Sam Ekstrom, joined by John Mara. An exciting game, 7 goals in the first 2 periods. Let's take a look at some of them. And Burnsville absorbing a hat trick from Abby Ness in this one. The Blaze got on the board early, though, and there was a goal from Howard to tie the game at 2 early in the second.
Yeah, big shot there to get the momentum back.
Ness added her third to make it 3-2, and the Blaze had to kill off a penalty. They thought they might go down by 2. Instead, they tie it up there. Disted getting the deflection on the centering pass in front, knotted it up at 3. They added a 4th from Kaczmarek from Praco with 3:15 to go in the period. 3rd period action here with Chris Lepper coaching his first home game as the new man in charge in Burnsville. We saw Tracy Casano at intermission. She spent 6 seasons here, now at Minnetonka, where she gets to coach the Skippers in the Lake Conference.
They're off to a good start. They have a couple of interesting games Friday at 7 o'clock. I believe they play Roseau. And then 1 p.m. Saturday, they got to turn around and play Warroad. So they're always up to good competition. I told her I hope we see her in the finals.
That would be something. Now, of course, Minnetonka, a great hockey tradition. So 17 minutes left to go in this one, and a chance to get a win for Olivia Tilbury, the spot start goaltender. She has a younger sister on the roster as well, Emma Tilbury, an 8th grader, who is also short on experience. They went with Olivia, who has just a little more seasoning.
Emma was in the nets for the JV game. Blaze came out on the short end. The Rebels had a nice 5-1 victory. Looked pretty solid. A lot of good offensive talent in the pipeline.
Burnsville started 4-0 last year, trying to start 2-0 this season with a win here in this tight home opener against Champlain Park Coon Rapids. They're in Section 5 AA, the Northwest Suburban West. Burnsville in the SSC and Section 3. 3rd period underway. Here are the Rebels across the blue line. Fired in from the left half wall, goes off into the corner. And Burnsville looking to clear the puck from behind the net. Good job pressing in here, Delaney Johnson. Delaney Johnson, puck on her stick, falls down, sweeps it along the end boards. Got it to Abby Ness. There's an interception by Avery Sawchuk, taken by Kaczmarek. Interception by McClellan. Banked ahead to Abby Ness. Left dot, shot on Tilbury. No rebound permitted, and that's a big save.
News flash, breaking news. Abby Ness doesn't score. I mean, she's been so hot this game. She's got the magic stick. Good save by Tilbury. Nice pat on the back by Disted to give her a little bit of confidence.
And sometimes when you get a unique situation like this, freshman goalie filling in for your stalwart starter, that can kind of create an atmosphere where everybody is putting forth a little more effort to try to make sure that her experience is a good one. There's a shot from Dundon, who had a good look, and Johnson another fine save.
And that was one of the things Chris Lepper talked about when we spoke with him. He says there's a really strong locker room. These kids seem to have fun. They seem to be good kids and get on together, and they're going to rally behind a goaltender.
Shot by Carlson, blocked. You know, speaking of locker room dynamics, it's interesting here with CPCR in that because it's a co-op of 2 sort of adjacent communities, you get a lot of youth rivals that are now playing on the same team that played each other when they were younger. So it kind of brings familiar faces together from 2 different communities.
Yeah, it's funny, sometimes you have the combined youth programs that split up at the high school, and you have the rivalries then are pretty big when you play your youth partners.
2 minutes into this 3rd period, 4-3 Blaze. Dromacki to the corner, contested by Scott, and Scott has the steal. Burnsville out shooting the Rebels through 2 periods, 21-11. The Rebels 2 of 4 on the power play. Burnsville 0 of 2, but they have that all-important short-handed goal by Disted that tied it. In the Blaze end, overskating it was Bezcalo. Out now to Bolby. Tracked down by McClellan, going into her own corner now with Bolby. McClellan fans at it, and the Blaze have the puck. Erlod spins it behind the net. Bolby makes a nice move, lost the puck. Off her stick now to the opposite corner. Coming with it near side is Ness. Cut off by Chadwick as Sawchuk keeps it in. Ramps off of Johnson's stick into the left corner for Bolby. Bolby over to Erlod. Tried to shovel it along for Chadwick. She got caught up there along the end glass. Again, Sawchuk there to keep. Here's Erlod in the corner. She's pressed against the boards. Good zone time, though, here for Burnsville as the clock moves to 13:35. The Blaze leading by a goal. Rebels just trying to clear. Sawchuk again has the keep, but only for a moment. Shoveled down by Johnson. An icing and a breather for the Rebels.
Strong play, interesting to watch. Delaney Johnson and Allie Erlob go at it. Johnson, a good-sized defenseman. Erlob, a diminutive powerhouse on skates. Fun battles to watch.
13:21 to go in regulation. Rebels win the draw. It's poked forward by Disted. Disted with a goal and an assist in this game, and she was on the receiving end of that centering attempt. Didn't reach her. Gromacki spiraling there at center, kicks it ahead onto the stick of Shack. Gromacki off the neutral zone boards and deflected back into the corner. There's a collision between Tyson and Gromacki, and it's Gromacki, I believe, getting booked.
Yeah, she lost a step and kind of made it up with her shoulder. Unfortunate for the Blaze. Need to stay out of the box. This will be a test. You can see
the fifth Burnsville penalty.
Yeah, see, well, just she was a step behind and bodied the player out of the way, and that'll earn you 2 minutes.
Blaze did kill off the last penalty they faced. They have a shorthanded goal, giving up 2 power play goals, so they're -1 on special teams. Centering feed, loose puck underneath the body of Kylie Scott there. She wasn't sure where it was. There's a shot from distance. Got caught in the glove of Sawchuk and dropped now behind the net. Bezcalo. Bezcalo, goal line extended. Now they center. Bezcalo on the give and go. It goes back to Delaney Johnson. Delaney Johnson switching places at the point with Peterson. Here's Peterson right dot. Pass was behind her and the Blaze clear. Minute 15 to go on the power play. Johnson contested by Kaczmarek, who has the steal. Kaczmarek moves it to Benford. Behind the net as Kaczmarek changes. Burnsville killing valuable seconds. 11:45 to go in the game. 50 seconds to go in the power play. With some pace, here's Kylie Scott now settling on the left dot. Deflection on Tilbury. She falls on it. Tries to glove it, and it winds up with Bezcalo. Bezcalo shooting one block by Carlson. Here's Scott. Scott from a tight angle. Lost the puck, and Bolby one-on-one with Peterson. Flanked by Nelvin. Bolby. Nelvin scores!
What a play by Nelvin to finish on that one. What became just a breakout on a shorthanded, and a second shorty, by the way, of the night for the Blaze, turned into a 2-on-1 that converted.
Incredible play. And I don't even know if Nelvin, she might have touched it, but it was a very light touch. Bolby just slid it right down the middle, and it went in the net.
Still 20 seconds of time to kill off the player advantage.
See who they give it to on the announcement. And it is Nelvin. And if we get another look there, we can maybe get a closer eye on it. Sammy Bolby given the assist. Meanwhile, a centering feed here. Tilbury down. Puck stays out. And we're even strength.
And back on that goal.
Here it is again.
She does get a stick on it, but really unable to get it to a strong shooting position. However, it did go through the 5-hole.
I think it clipped the left skate of Nelvin without a kicking motion, so that's a legal play. But really, it was sort of just a nudge forward. It didn't really redirect the puck very much. That's a, in some ways, serendipitous goal that was set up by an excellent breakout, shorthanded. And just the speed of Burnsville that Leopard talked about before the game on display on special teams.
Yeah, Sammy Bowlby's got an extra gear, and she used it there. And then the goalie has got to worry about 2 players there. And that opens up the 5-hole sometimes.
Bowlby's got her first assist of the season. Nelvin with goal number 3. 10-10 to go, in the Blaze with their first multi-goal lead. First time either team has led by 2 goals. We've had a couple lead changes in this one. Offside as Chadwick was tackled by Peterson across the blue line with the puck still behind it. 5-3 Burnsville.
Yeah, and when Burnsville senses blood, they seem to be pretty predatory out there. You could see Nelvin just kick it into an extra gear when she saw that opportunity, and it paid off.
And when that play started, I thought it was just Bowlby against Peterson, and then Nelvin was just there.
Like she was shot out of a cannon.
Yeah. Fun hockey to watch. Burnsville trying to get to their conference opener with a perfect non-conference start. And last year, the Rebels had a very slow start to their season in non-conference action. 1-3-1. Or 1-3-2, I should say, they began before ending the year. After that, 13-5-2 in their final 20 games. They lost to Rogers in the first round of their section playoff.
Yeah, tough overtime loss, shorthanded.
Kind of resembles Burnsville's playoff loss, as you mentioned.
Yeah, Burnsville lost. They were on the power play, thought they scored a goal to win. It was waved off. And the penalty ended. Player came out of the box, got the puck, went down and scored. Broke a bunch of hearts.
About halfway through the third, and the Blaze with the all-important first goal of this period, up by 2 with their backup goalie in net. And Gromacki angling right to left, saved by Johnson. Wrap around Gromacki. Couldn't quite finish it off, and now a whistle. Behind the play, the net is loose. And that'll stop with 8:32 to go in the third.
Great demonstration of what Gabby Gromacki brings to the team. Her skating ability allows her to grab the puck in her own zone, take it all the way around, get a good shot on net, and almost get a wraparound.
Gromacki, a junior. That's the largest class on this Burnsville roster, 7 of them. And again, 4 varsity seniors this year. And they should have a lot of talent back next year as well as the puck winds up in the crease. We have Zoe Dundon, who's playing the second half of this game for Maddie Masnick. That was a planned rotation. 8:10 to go.
Kids played a couple periods of the JV game. They're allowed to play 4 periods a night, so they manage their time that way.
You get the sense that with all these returners on this Burnsville team that there's sort of an automatic chemistry, even though they've got a new coach, as there's a loose puck and Erlob tried to put it on net. Is the net loose again? It is.
Yeah, and you know, I've seen that at this rink. Some years it's worse than others. I think it was last year, the year before, they got new pegs and a new system, but some goalies have a knack of somehow dislodging it to help their cause.
Yeah, got to drill deeper. Get those pegs in there.
Yeah, they got those safety breakaway nets, and safety first.
Under 8 minutes to go in regulation. There's Bowlby standing up on the back door, almost received the pass getting up off her backside, and here is Erlob keeping it in the zone. Erlob shoots one, it rattles around and stays out. Bowlby now in the corner. Down low, Chadwick. Blaze looking strong here in the final frame. It's Erlob. Erlob twisting one behind for Bowlby. Well, it feels like Erlob deserves a goal in this game. She's been really good and had a lot of chances as we got a hand pass.
Yeah, and Allie Erlob's got a brother named Tim, pretty darn good hockey player in his own right. You can tell that she's just got the hockey sense. Very strong game, whether she shows up in the stat sheet or not.
Offensive zone draw, first time in a while for the Rebels. Rebels maybe losing a little bit of steam here. On the road, they've given up 3 unanswered goals after holding a 3-2 lead in the second. Kaczmarek and Benfer working together. It's Benfer passing to the middle, picked off by Peterson. Gromacki got a stick in there and then backhanded it forward. Now Gromacki toward the corner. Peterson touting it for the Rebels. CPCR with 6:50 to score twice. Carlson flutters one on net, stick down by Johnson. You know, Johnson, for giving up 5 in this game, she's really done some fine work as well to prevent more.
And can't falter on most of those goals. They're either crazy angle shots or nice rebounds.
Good effort here by Scott to work in. In the corner, Scott controls. Looking for the back door. Ness. And a penalty is coming on the Rebels. Interference on Johnson.
Looked like it caught her up near the neck area. Went down kind of hard. Interference to call.
And Burnsville saying, hey, we want to be shorthanded. We kind of like that right now. But no, they're going to go 5-on-4.
I think early on last year, almost through the first half of the year, they were a +2 shorthanded, which is just a ridiculous stat.
Well, Burnsville had as many shorties, I believe, as they did power play goals allowed in the end. I think it was 7-7. So now a chance to really milk this game down or maybe put it away with a goal. That's vacuumed up by Johnson with 6 to play.
Yeah, and this is where, you know, a good coach is going to tell his team they got to stick to the plan, try not to take chances.
There's a draw win. Sawchuk shot. Backdoor. Chadwick couldn't get a stick down to the ice. Bowlby tees up Sawchuk. They go to Erlob on the left circle. Sawchuk will swat along. There's a one-time slapper by Bowlby. Went through everybody. A third of the way done with this power play. Burnsville's 3rd attempt of the game. They're 0 for 2. On the half wall. Erlob shoots. Backhand rebound. What a save by Elia Johnson.
Beautiful save there. Beautiful backhand on the back door, and she got over and made the play.
Blaze, though, in control with a 2-goal lead, 1:11 to go on the power play. Our next broadcast on BCTV exclusively will be December 7th. Boys and girls doubleheader. That'll be in the thick of conference action. A 18-game conference slate. 25 games in all. There's Kaczmarek with the takeaway. Give and go. Kaczmarek trying to sneak it in. And the puck stays out. Great job by Johnson. And they still keep the pressure on. I think
Let me guess, the net's off.
Yep. Students don't like that. Great student body presence tonight, really adding to the atmosphere here.
Yeah, great turnout. You don't always see that early in the year, but they're not only here, they're engaged.
Oh, Distad crashing in, looking for her 3rd point of the night. Very close.
So the boys haven't started their season yet. Tryouts are tomorrow. So their team will be in place by the end of the weekend.
35 seconds to go on the power play. Dromacki. Kaczmarek in front, deflected by a Rebel nearly into the net. There's Benfer centering, kicks off to Nelvin. Slap shot blocked, off to the end boards. Benfer gathers it with 10 seconds to go in the power play. Nelvin, the captain, with a spin toward the corner, now to the net front. Nelvin circling around Rebels. Final seconds of the power play, and it's off Dromacki's stick. Johnson hops out of the box. Burnsville's now 0 for 3 on the 5-on-4. They lead it 5-3 with 3 straight goals and 4 minutes to go. Bowlby the takeaway. And Bowlby looking for another theft there in neutral ice. This is Erlob. Ali Erlob, a low shot, hops up into the body of Johnson.
Solid save from Johnson. There'd be no easy goals for the Blaze tonight. Erlob again creating opportunity after opportunity.
Rebels have Maple Grove after this on the road. That's a Northwest Suburban opener. And they'll have Osseo Park Center. Erlob backhand, another chance for Erlob. I'd like to see her shot attempt total after this one. She's really been buzzing. And Lepper's going to be extremely proud if they can hold on for this win. And credit them for really dominating the offensive zone in the latter half of this game and keeping the pressure off Tilbury, who did a nice job herself. Frozen puck and a takedown after the whistle. Bowlby against Peterson.
Yeah, nothing malicious there. She was actually trying to hold her up, and no bad blood, but fierce competition. And back to Tilbury, she's giving the fans a lot to cheer about here. Really stepping up in a tough situation, and she's going to be their go-to for a number of weeks, and this is an excellent start so far.
Through the first 2 periods, she'd made 8 saves of 11. No goals allowed here in the third, which has just over 3 minutes remaining. Around the end glass, fired back to neutral. Kylie Scott. Retreating into her own end. Scott gives it away to Nelvin. Punches it forward into the corner. Benfer faces the net. Stick handles to the middle. And Ness stripped it away, and now Ness, who has the hat trick, all 3 goals, coughs up the puck to Nelvin. Kaczmarek deflects forward. Dromacki. Kaczmarek to Benfer. Benfer taken down, no penalty. There's Nelvin centering to Kaczmarek. Lost behind her skates. 2:25 to go. Might have to pull Johnson here pretty soon. Sawchuk dumps it in. They haven't had a great opportunity, though, to get the goaltender out of the net.
Blaze doing a pretty good job of trying to keep their shifts short and staying fresh on the ice.
There's Disted with the dump in. And again, Johnson will have to stay put. Bowlby battles with Scott. Out to Terabeza. Del Castillo moved it forward. They can't gain the zone here with 1:45 to go. That's dumped in. We'll watch Johnson. Puck trickling in the crease. Del Castillo charging late. And Johnson didn't leave the net. Now a 2-on-2. Bowlby got around Peterson. Couldn't get around Bolander. 90 seconds left.
Now they're waving for her to come to the bench.
Johnson off, empty net, 6-on-5 for the Rebels. And Carlson has the puck, banked out to Peterson at the point, pressed back in. Procco will bank it. This will be no icing, waved off, 1:10 to go. Bolander had 2 assists in the opener. There's Bolander, the giveaway. Kaczmarek now to the corner with 60 seconds left. Nelvin taken down by Tyson. Out in front. They score!
Kaczmarek with the goal.
Kaczmarek, now they're throwing hats. We've got it down for her second, but the celebration's pretty awesome anyway. Burnsville's going to win this hockey game.
Good, solid, sustained pressure by the Blaze, never allowing the Rebels to clear the puck. And gets one of the easier goals she's going to get.
And that was Peterson trying to play goalie. And now remember, Kaczmarek was the one who was in position on that feed from Disted. I believe Disted was credited with that goal back in the second period on that centering pass. But Kaczmarek with a multi-goal game, and Burnsville with another multi-goal period. The announcement for Kaczmarek. Crowd goes wild.
Ice time for Megan Newts.
Yes, Newts in the game. 22 seconds to go and an icing.
You know, it's one of those games when you got a rookie goaltender back that you don't always want to use all your depth, but Burnsville Blaze got some good players coming up, and it's nice to work them into the games.
Burnsville with 13 goals in their first 2 games. What a start. And this game was certainly in question for a moment for Burnsville. They scored 4 unanswered goals after trailing 3-2. Final seconds tick away and the Blaze win it. They're 2-0. And they'll mob Olivia Tilbury, the winning goaltender.
It's great to see her get the love. They better hope they don't hurt her with the celebration. Nice win for the Blaze.
Here at Burnsville Ice Center. We do have some highlights coming for you here in the postgame. A 6-3 victory. We go back to the video. There's the great save by Tilbury. Tilbury was strong in this one, allowing 3 goals in her debut. There's Burnsville getting on the board with, I believe that was the Masnick goal early on. Well, that was Melvin right there. Burnsville 2-0. They've got Shakopee next. Champlain Park Coon Rapids has Maple Grove in their next outing. Jim Coltis' team led this one on the road in the second period, but just could not finish it off. John, final thoughts on this one as the Blaze stay unbeaten?
Well, it's a really good test for the Blaze to come out under adversity and as a team effort lift their goalie up and get a victory. They're going to score a lot of goals this year. They're going to be a fun team to watch.
Big thanks to all of our volunteers, our crew in the truck, and John Mara by my side. And a big thanks to those who watched simulcast on CTN and those watching locally on BCTV. I'm Sam Ekstrom. The Blaze win it 6-3 here at Burnsville Ice Center. Signing off from Burnsville Community Television and CTN. This is AA Hockey. Have a great night.